Okay guys, I'm here for my appointment, 3 o'clock at Uber here in New York City. Let's see what they have to say. Let's get the ball rolling. Alright, so just came from the Uber office and it seems that there's about a $650 commitment here in New York just to get started with your application fees, your drug testing, your classes that you need to do, and all the TLC stuff. Got the paperwork here. Also, biggest kicker I think is that it takes 5 to 6 weeks or so to get everything up and running. So that's also another little setback as far as wanting to get things going and on the road. But let's see how the investment, everything else sounds pretty good. They do a reimbursement of $250 for your application or to get your TLC license going, but that's if you sign up today. I didn't do that. I wanted some time to think about it and go from there. All right, let's see. Okay guys, this is nothing professional. I just want to give you my rundown on what my Uber experience is so far. Day one at home, taking a look at some of this stuff. Obviously, you got to get your Class E license, transfer over first. Secondly would be to get your TLC application going. That's a $258 chunk. Then there's also, the driver's and medical exam. You got to get fingerprinted. So if you have any kind of background at all, what I've seen on some other YouTube channels is that you go ahead and just, even if it's been expunged or whatever it was, you got arrested for one thing or another. But they say just to go ahead and just be honest with it, set it up forthright, and just don't lie about it, because I think that's the biggest thing. Obviously, you got to complete a drug test. So that being said, there's the wheelchair accessibility course you got to take. There's a 24-hour course and exam, so physical exam that you have to take. So all of these things kind of break down as to, where do I want to go from this? You're looking at $650. And I think sort of the kicker is the 4, 5, or 6 week wait that you have to do in order to get this license, get through this process, and get it going and get yourself out on the road. Now, that being said, once you do, I think it's a good investment. I mean, obviously this is an investment. Setting your own hours, being able to work when you want to work, in the locations and stuff where you want to. That all sounds very appealing. I have a daughter, so for me to be able to have off every other weekend is sort of key. I pick up other jobs. I'm a photographer by trade. If I need to pick up something that's 3 or 4 days here, 3 or 4 days there, all the better, And then if I decide to, go out, then I can just return everything and, hopefully come back when it needed. Now, something else that's something a lot of people haven't mentioned. I don't own a car. So in order for that, what Uber did was it gave me these vehicle solutions. Now, pretty much it's a rental companies that I've never heard of. American, Buggy, Fast Track, and Tower. I don't know. But they go anywhere from weekly payments of $300 to about $500, so it seems. Maybe you can read this. Push pause and take a look at that. There's also different rental options. I know these guys work exclusively with Uber, so supposedly there's no deposit down on the vehicle. I mean, most rental car companies only charge you a $200 deposit anyway, so I don't see that. There's also a thing under here, UberNYMarketplace.com. So it's my understanding that people have cars for a week, 2 weeks, or a month, and they have an extra week. You can rent their car for a week. I don't know, sounds a little bit iffy, but something more to check into. But for the most part, you just got to be legal. You got to be able to pass the drug test. You got to be able to come up with the investment and also the time that it takes for these classes to get going. So let's start with this and see where we're going. Like I said, this is not a professional blog. This is just me to you, just kind of giving my input on what I'm going through. Okay.